Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to Broken Lord's Endless Legend tutorial slash playthrough. That's right, the devs of Amplitude yet again delivered what they promised, that being a new patch for Early Access Alpha game, and it fixed my Broken Lord playthrough. As in, look at this, do you see some dead units in there? Well, I can just press auto battle and everything is fine. No errors. Dead units are dead, and in fact, to make it even more awesome, my bishops actually healed during this battle. In the past they would die, even though they have healing abilities. Now the game's like, oh wait, those guys can heal and kill the enemies? Oh, they probably healed. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I'm very happy and thankful to Amplitude that they were able to fix this back to the point where the old save files are still compatible, and we're actually able to continue with our Broken Lords playthrough. Now the thing is, I already started a Volders playthrough, so what I'm going to do now is just have them both going on simultaneously. So today you're seeing this video, right? So tomorrow you will see a Volders video, the day after tomorrow it will be Broken Lords video again, and so on and so forth. And that's here just to make sure that neither of the two playthrough gets discriminated and that you have something to watch every day, which I know is fairly important to most of you. Now then, now that everything is sorted out, what on earth was I supposed to do? No, don't worry, I do have some vague memories, and first things first, let's have a quick check if happiness is indeed working as intended, but I'm pretty sure that there is no reminiscent of this happiness bug anywhere on our empire. Everything is going just wonderfully splendid, and we can focus on doing what we are supposed to do, and I guess I can also extend this tutorial and tell you how to get back into your game after you have reloaded a save file from far away and you don't necessarily remember what you were doing. Or maybe you're playing a Succession game, which I'm sure they will be popular in the future. Succession game, for those of you who do not know, is a game where one player plays several turns of a game and then another player gets the save file and plays the next few turns and hands it over to yet another player, and so on and so forth. This kind of game is called a Succession game. It's really enjoyable, and I've been playing some Succession games in Endless Space, and it was a lot of fun, and I have no doubt that the same thing is actually going to happen for Endless Legend as well, sooner or later. So let's say that you're playing a Succession game and you have no idea what you're doing, because you were just handed over a save file and you have no idea what is happening. So first things first, focus on the important stuff. Is your empire in a good spot economically? Well, we can see that it is, and we know that for a fact. We've got plenty of influence, plenty of dust. Let's have a quick look. The next plan is going to go live in just 110. We have plenty of influence. Is it enough, however, to go for something that we want to go for? We can go for extra happiness, and this would actually be fairly awesome, but we need 160 influence points to do that. So I'm already happy I checked that, because I can now adjust my influence production so that I can have 160 on the next 10. Right now I'm gaining 7, I need to be gaining 20. So it's going to our city overlay screen. There is a list of all our cities, and let's find a city that gives us the most influence. Right now there are 3 tied cities, which is actually fairly surprising. Usually it's the capital that gives you the most influence, this time it isn't. So, capital needs to focus on dust production. This is what it is here for, and it does have a hero that benefits us when making dust. Let's leave it as it is. Second city is our conquest city, incursions. It also focuses on dust production. Let's leave it as it is. However, our third city is currently focusing on production because we were trying to finance our war effort, which right now is going fairly okay. We do not need to focus on production. Let us instead focus on influence. Now this increases this city's influence production by 8. Still not quite where we need it to be if we want to have enough influence for the next 10. Right now we're gaining 21, however, which is actually good enough. So, this Jodis village. It never hurts to have too much influence, but I'll actually... No, wait, it's... Alright, I cannot swap any workers to non-influence in the city, because then I'll be only making 19 influence per 10, which is not good enough. 21 is a little bit of an overkill, but it's such a small overkill that it doesn't really matter. Either way, next 10 we'll be able to go for some pretty good empire plan. Alright, congratulations, you checked your empire economy, you know that it's fine. Now we look at the approval. Approval is so-so, it is not bad, and we're about to solve it with our empire plan. So it's again something that we're happy with. Empire content status, yeah, they are the luxury resources. We can see that we cannot really use anything. We need 25 luxuries in order to activate them on our empire right now, because we have 4 cities. 4 cities equal 25 requirement for your luxuries. I believe it's 5 luxury per city, but don't cite me on that. I need to do some more tests before I can be 100% sure. It could be just some kind of progressive increase, but it right now just looks like it's extra 5 required resources for each city you have. I think. Don't quote me on that again, because... Actually, no, that is not correct, because I remember that if you have 1 city, then you only need 15 resources, and not 10. Yeah, I'll need to do some tests. Don't quote me on anything, sorry. Either way, we know about our economy, so let's have a quick look at what we were doing before, or what the player before us was doing in terms of science. Right now we have 2 techs queued up. One is for accessories, which is good. We have no access to accessories whatsoever, and tier 2 accessories give you access to some things that you can equip on your hero governors, so that your cities can prosper even more so than usual. Then we've got Rookery queued up, a fairly understandable choice for a Broken Lord's hero, because we have plenty of dust to use. By the way, in the patch that fixed our bug, the hero prices have also been lowered, slightly. I mean, not really necessarily lowered, now they are fitting the hero's level, whereas before they weren't really doing a good job at that. So those heroes are still very expensive, but you get what we pay for, if you know what I mean. So there's that. I don't really feel like buying a new hero, although I'm actually considering, because when we have a look at our empire, we only really have 1 hero. I mean 2 heroes. We are about to get a 3rd hero, and this is going to be a faction quest hero, so this will be a new governor. But we could go for yet another governor for yet another city. However, because right now we only have 2 cities that are any good, that being our capital and our newly conquered city, we don't need more than 2 governors, and we're going to have 2 of them so soon enough. So everything is good. Alright then. First things first, I already noticed that our hero is disabled. I can re-enable him, or rather her, or whatever, for 75 dust. No problemo. I can also sell her for even more, just because why not? Let's be awful people. But no, instead I'm going to assign her / him. Still have no idea who it is. Actually, let's inspect. Are you a she or a he? Yada yada yada. Wild Walker Killer, using sharing, terraforming, blah blah blah, patience, dedication. Him! It's a he! Alright, good to know. I thought it's a she. I couldn't tell. Those elves all look alike to me. Anyway, I can also see that the hero has actually leveled up while being dead. Congratulations, dear sir. You are now going to go get no idle hands, because no idle hands is quite frankly quite useful for the likes of you. Which sounds fairly ominous and evil. Anyway, we checked our science, we know what we're doing. Let's have a quick look at the other thing that is important, our quests. So obviously we already know that we have to return to the Kazanji tribe and end the trust. We're going to get some Palladian, which is not too useful right now, but we are also going to be able to assimilate them as soon as we enter the next era, which is important because those guys, as explained before, are fairly useful for your empire. Next we've got the Master of Luxury. That's good. I didn't remember actually that we are supposed to do that, so let's try and finish this quest as soon as possible. Legend of the Free is relatively useless. I mean, we could try and do this at some point, but it's a waste of time in all honesty, and I'm pretty sure I explained why in my past videos. And then of course our faction quest, which is very important. Right now our the main thing that we need to focus on is securing the area to the south of us on the border between us and the Wild Walkers. So we need to send a fairly hefty army over there. And while this army is fairly okay, it does have 5 units including our hero, but it only has Dust Bishops and 1 Stalwart. 1 Stalwart is not good enough because it doesn't protect its friends. So actually, I'm really surprised. I just realized that we do not have the army extension implemented just yet. And this is kinda understandable because we only have a few techs implemented right now, but on the other hand it is also very important to have it. So as soon as we have actually even best 4 mercenaries, I'm going to go for army extension because I want to be able to have more armies, more units in a single army, because it is going to save us dust. Keep in mind that you can reinforce your army with different armies, but different armies cost you more dust to maintain. As Broken Lords, we care about dust quite a lot, so we don't want to be spending a lot of it. Alright then, this city is doing just fine. I could spend some dust on buying something somewhere. So let's have a quick look at our capital first and foremost, because it is our capital and I'm a biased son of a gun and I want to focus on my capital first and foremost. So let's have a quick look what they want to do. I probably want to be next to this oasis. And I also want to make the best use of the streets around here as possible. However, there are two options. I can either go expand to this tile right here and go, hey, get back over here, and walk like this, so that I can avoid the mountains and not suffer the fits penalty from them because they didn't give me any fits whatsoever. On the other hand, I could just walk, position my district right here and just go straight for the river on the other side, or just go for the river on this side as well. Both are viable options. Which am I going to go for? Well, quite simply, I'm just going to go for the Oasis ASAP. Oasis, if you remember, it gives you a happiness bonus, which I do need. So I'm going to suffer a happiness penalty after making this barrel street. So that's fairly important. Additionally, while I do not gain any fits from the ridge, I also gain access to quite a lot of nearby towns, which will make up for the fact that I'm not gaining extra bonus from this mountain. And I do want to make my route to different rivers as short as possible. Now, I'm not exactly ready to level any of my districts or borough streets to level 2 as of yet. I'll wait for this. I'll wait until one of my quests tells me to do so, because there's a quest associated with that. Alright then. So next thing that we need to do, well, I could use some extra version on this border because there are the necrophages nearby and I want to know what they are planning. So let's go ahead and buy out something that we cannot afford, so never mind. Let's actually focus on making the watchtower first. I'm actually going to buy it out as well, because extra vision sometimes is very important. And this area, as you can see, the necrophages can use to sneak in to attack either Jasty or Dells. And I do not want to lose either of the two. Sure, those are not the most powerful cities, but they are mine cities and I want to keep it this way. And yeah, I'm a very greedy bastard, so I'm not going to let anybody take what is rightfully mine. At least something that I declared to be mine. Either way, now that we remember sorry, wow. Now that we remember exactly what we are supposed to do, we can go ahead and continue playing, and we are actually about to lose Dells. As you can see, the enemy actually managed to gain some bows and attack us in our city, and no doubt about it, they're going to take it over. So I'm just going to auto battle because this is going to be a slaughter. I did some minor damage and now the enemy has control over the city. Alright, it may look bad, and actually it is, because I think I was making a settler over there. Yes, I was. So I lost all the production on the settler, and this is fairly annoying. However, it's not the end of the world, because let's have a quick look at the positives here. And the positive is that now that the wild walkers have control over this city, they'll build stuff very fast. Those guys gain a very big bonus to production from the forests. There are forests near the city, and if I don't take back the city for a few turns, that's perfect, because I'll give the AI opportunity to build it up and then I can take it back. I need to be careful though. If I wait for too long, the enemy is going to build so many defenses and armies that I may not be able to take it back. Right now I can easily do this without being punished, because I know that the AI is still very basic. So I can abuse it, let it build up my city and then take it over without too much of difficulty. However, in the future or in multiplayer games, doing this kind of strategy is kinda risky. It's high risk but also high reward, so always think before you do something of the sort. Alright, Empire plan, I think we all know. Oh, I forgot, I also want to gain extra dust from my cities. So this is something I didn't think about. So, I completely forgot that I need extra dust. I don't know why, it's just brain explosion. But either way, as much as I would like to gain extra happiness, it is not on the top of my priority list, especially now that I lost a city. I have more happiness in my entire empire because I do not have extra disapproval penalty. I mean, expansion disapproval penalty that I'll normally get from having 4 cities. Now I have 3, so my people like me a little bit more, which makes little sense, but let's ignore that for the time being. So what I can do is just go ahead and either go for some more empire plans, so I can go do it like this, which is fairly interesting, or I could just go reduce building production cost, which is decent. But since I'm going to buy out a lot of buildings and there are not too many buildings that I want to make right now, it's not exactly as useful as you might imagine actually, so that's good to know. So what else can I go for? Well, I need to reduce the cost of my units, that's for sure, because I'll be making quite a lot of those and probably going to war a lot as well. So having more units is always beneficial. I can go for science. I mean, as Broken Lords, my science is not the best. I'm kind of suffering on this front, and I can make up for it by increasing my science gain. However, 20% extra to something that is not that big to begin with is not a very big deal in all honesty, but I might still go for it. Additionally, I can also reduce the cost of buying out tractors, which is something that I'll probably do quite a lot. But honestly, right now I'm more tempted to just save up my influence points. Reason being that I can use them to not only assimilate other factions, but also I can use them in the next 20 turns when I have new empire plan available. And who knows, by then I may actually be able to go for both dust and extra happiness. Right now I'm content with this kind of empire plan. It looks good enough for me and I'll stick with it. Alright, as you can see, there's also a little bit of a problem in the form of a neutral army trying to take over my big city. Actually, let's rename it because I will keep forgetting its name. You're now named Big City. So now I know how everybody is going to know what I refer to when I call my city a big city. Alright, I cannot make battle streets anymore because the city is being, it is being besieged, so it cannot make any extensions to its city borders. That's good to know. Now, what do I want to do? Well, first things first, I do kind of want to finish this quest just to get it over with before this, what's it called? Before this village gets assimilated. I mean, burned down. I want to assimilate it, but the enemy AI can burn it down, so I want to protect it from this ever happening to it. After that, I'll probably swing back around to Big City, save it, and then go back, recapture my old city, and also go ahead and try to secure this area, settle on it, and fulfill my faction quest. It is going to be relatively difficult, but also something that I believe I can achieve. So let us finish our turn, and nothing big is happening right now. I do not see any enemy armies marching my way, which is good. Let us assimilate those guys. Parley, thank you, very dear friends. I have now gained the confidence of the Kazanji tribe in the region. Very nice. I can now assimilate them, but keep in mind I cannot assimilate. I can only assimilate them in the place of Devils, which is not something I want to do. Devils are the most important minor faction for Broken Lords. So Kazanji are also very important, but not as important. So wait until I get into Era 3 and gain the appropriate technology. Alright, let's enter this forest town. Hopefully encourage one of those two people to attack me, or actually just go ahead and march against them right now. We'll see what we do, right, however. Alright, Big City should be able to hold its ground for quite a while against just one guy. I'm pretty sure he will not try to assault my city anytime soon. However, the problem is that the enemy Necrophage army can actually bypass my army and go ahead and attack my capital. So, which is actually unhappy, by the way, so I guess the happiness bug is still with us for some reason. Okay. I guess those guys are really happy that now they're more happy, so, well, it's very difficult to satisfy them, let's just put it this way. Anyway, I do want to finish this bar street right away. I mean, it doesn't matter now that I'll take happiness penalty from making it because many people are unhappy. In a way, I'm not happy that they're unhappy, just because it is making up for the fact that they were happy before when they were not supposed to. Obviously, I was making up for this in other ways as well, but now it's good. I like it when it's difficult. Oh yes, I'm kind of this masochistic person at times. At least when I'm playing video games, not in real life when it comes to actual pain. That's not very fun. Although I knew a masochist once, he was hilarious. He was literally the kind of guy that would set himself on fire. Don't do it at home, kids. It's sick, it's stupid, it's dumb. It's not only painful, but it also can endanger you, your life. And in all honesty, if you even think about setting yourself on fire, please do me a favor and go to a doctor, because this is a very dangerous thing for you to do. And if you just think about it, you honestly need some help. Seriously, do me a favor, go to a doctor if you're a masochist. And because you never know when you go overboard. Also, if you're a masochist that is watching it, I'm not trying to offend you, I'm just trying to save your life if at all possible. Trust me, I knew a masochist once. I'm worried about him, I haven't had him in a while. In all honesty, he was never a good friend of mine, so I wasn't even trying to, listen to him, and I'm fairly sure he's fine. But, you never know what he can pull off. He was kind of a crazy person. Anyway, our hero leveled up, so that's good. We can now equip him with more stuff, which we don't want to do because neither of those stuff is particularly helpful. Instead, we can give him a new technology, I mean skill. So what do we want to do? Right now, extra dust from river is not too useful because there is only one river tile that would benefit us, which is this river tile right here. So this is not something I'm particularly interested in. However, this thing is better because it increases our resource per turn gain from our mines, which is actually very important. If you are suffering from any strategic resource starvation, for example, you need more gas steel or titanium, or in my case actually both, then by giving this ability to my hero, he can extract more resources per turn. Right now, if you don't have this hero ability, you only gain 1 titanium from extractor. If you do, however, have this ability on your hero, you gain 2. And if you level this ability, then you gain even more and more and more, which can allow you to create a very powerful titanium heavy army, even if you do not have a lot of titanium extractors. This trait is especially viable for voters, which is why sometimes when you play as the voters, you may want to hire a Broken Lord's hero. Which sounds stupid, but it's actually fairly worthwhile, you know, if you want to harvest your holy region, your holy, what's it called? Resource, that's it. Alright, then let's go ahead and fight a battle. We haven't had a battle for quite some time. The enemy is ranged, so I need to go for offensive and I need to close in my attack as soon as possible. So let us go into a battle. Let's deploy our forces. Now the enemy does have the high ground advantage, but I'll be able to close in fairly quickly if at all possible, so this is not a very big deal. Let us move in all my units closer to the front line because they should not be standing so far away. I mean, seriously, why would they? Let's make sure that my... Hey! Oh, I cannot actually deploy here, that's lame. Let's make sure that my dust bishops are as close to my Star Wars as possible so that they can heal my Star Wars whenever my Star Wars take damage. So as we go into a ready phase, I have better initiative, which is nice. So what I want to do is actually tell my dust bishops to close in on the enemy as much as possible. Why? Because my dust bishops heal up everybody who's adjacent to them. In this case, this also includes the Star Wars. So just by standing close to my Star Wars, they will also heal them up whenever they attack the enemy archers, and as such, it will be awesome. And the enemy only has archers, so I do not care at all if I suffer any damage. I mean, if I go in close against the enemy, because, quite frankly, it simply doesn't matter. They will be able to attack me anyway, and I will be able to attack them anyway. So it's all good in the neighborhood. Alright. The enemy is going to suffer some severe damage even from the very first few attacks. My dust bishops decide to go ahead and go fishing because they really wanted to eat some fish. I cannot blame them. I feel like eating sushi right now, too bad that sushi is expensive and far away from my home, so that's not really a possibility. I remember the sushi I ate in Korea. They actually had fairly good sushi, and I guess that's to be expected since I ate the sushi in Seoul, and Seoul is very close to the sea, so all sushi, by its very definition, is extraordinarily fresh and delicious, so it was very good. But there are also some very good sushi places in Warsaw, don't get me wrong. I have my favorite few. Obviously very expensive, but every now and again, when you want to impress somebody or just eat delicious food, you can go there. Why am I talking about sushi masala? This is an Endless Legend tutorial of sorts. At least it used to be a tutorial. Right now it's places to visit in Warsaw and Seoul, sushi bars. But honestly, if you visit Seoul, don't be ridiculously stupid. Don't go into a sushi bar. Go into a Korean restaurant, because this is the most delicious place you can find in Korea or possibly anywhere else, because Koreans have delicious food. The only reason I was in a sushi place in Korea is because I was on, I don't want to call it a business meeting, but let's call it this way. Let's not go into details. In general, I was invited to it, and you do not refuse invites, and I was really interested anyway. It was fun, however. Anyway, I keep talking about sushi. What is wrong with me? I guess that's because we are in a battle, and right now I'm letting my units do whatever they want to do, because this battle was, as you can obviously see right now, heavily in my favor, and my initial orders were good enough to actually absolutely wipe out the enemy. As you can see, I took no damage whatsoever. The enemy was attacking me, true, but I was able to heal this damage instantly whenever the enemy tried to attack me. Alright, those incursions will be a nuisance, but I already have a Dust Bishop in my capital. I'm about to have a Star Ward as well. Let's actually kill up yet another Star Ward, and this should be more than enough to actually kill those guys, just because Dust Bishops are absolutely amazing. Alright, what do I want to do now? This place looks awesome, I have to admit. I really like necrophagus cities. So I can go there, I can attack them and possibly take over their city. I don't want to have her. My quest requires me to settle there, and if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities, then I'll take quite a bit of happiness punishment. So I don't even want to kill necrophagus right now, even though I have an opening. Instead, I'm going to swing around with my army, save big city, and be on my merry way. Now, usually if you're fighting against a more intelligent, difficult player, it's more worthwhile to actually go ahead and attack the enemy city and burn it to the ground if you don't want to control it. But first things first, I can see that the enemy city is very good, so I guess you wouldn't want to burn it to the ground, you would want to burn like Jalastia to the ground. But I get... I have this emotional connection to the cities I control, and I don't want to just burn it to the ground, so I wouldn't want to do that. And against a human player, sure, I would use my opportunity, I would take over this city, and I would, if necessary, sacrifice one of my own cities, just to not go into a rebellion. More likely, I would just allow myself to go into a rebellion, because low approval is sometimes okay, if you have a lot of cities. But I'm right now being easy on the AI just because it's dumb, and you know, it deserves a little bonus here and then. And besides, look at this, the enemy actually decided to attack me, attack on big city, and support the neutrals in attacking the city. So this is good that I'm going over there, because I can now save the city from 2 types of attack, and this is a very important city to hold, so I'm very happy that this thing is happening right now. Alright, this small army is going to go ahead and finish off the Necrodrons. I shouldn't take any damage at all, and even if I do take some, it should be okay. Although the Autobot seems to think that I'm at a disadvantage. I'm kinda curious how Autobot is going to handle this. I'm supposed to win this quite easily, so it's going to Autobot. Well, I guess I finished my experiment, it was not satisfactory, and I lost a lot of my resources as a result, and most annoyingly, I lost glass steel, which I do need in order to make dust bishops. Right now, the only source of glass steel is this one lonely mountain, I mean mine, and I'm harvesting fairly slow. So what I can do is retrofit dust bishops for the time being a little bit, so they do not use as much glass steel, but so that they do use titanium. So let's do just that. This titanium is going to make them more powerful than, I mean, as powerful as they are already. They will not have as much initiative as they used to, but they'll still be fairly beastly, and I have plenty of titanium, so I can make this kind of dust bishops. And let's just buy them out as well with the Star Wars, and I'll show you, again, same combination, but I'll show you how badly I'm supposed to be able to wipe out the enemy, because I really am supposed to be able to absolutely dominate those guys. So let's do just that. Some things finished producing, so that's good. I'm not particularly interested in that. I cannot buy out the Watchtower as of yet. I can buy out this one, however, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Also, I forgot to move my population back into production or something else, which is fairly bad. Now, do I want those guys to stay on production in the city? Not necessarily. Right now I have more important things like getting more dust, so by all means, I do want to go for as much dust as possible. But just by holding my workers in influence production, look at how much influence I have already on 1063, 3 turns after my Empire plan went live. I can do whatever I want with my influence right now, and there's no limitation to what I want to do, which is good. It is good by all means. Alright then, do I need to do something in particular? Well, I do want to explore this region as well as defend it, because there is glass steel somewhere and I do want to extract it as much as possible, so let's remember that. I also want to make a settler in the city, so let's finish off the Star Wars and then actually queue up a settler as well. Why not? Let's have him like somewhere here, so we start working on our settler, so that we can buy him out quickly on the next few turns and send him down south. Maybe I'll actually even colonize this region before I take over my city of Dells, which would be hilarious, but also something that I'm considering doing. Alright, more Necrodrons heading in, and the old ones just continue scouting around. Alright, that's fine. I'm just going to create this army, try to meet the Necrodrons, and prove that this army is supposed to absolutely obliterate any Necrodrons that come into this area. Meanwhile, stop! No! Where oh, for crying out loud! I had a great shot at destroying this army. I guess I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to go ahead and rescue Big City and then swing back around and destroy the armies that are nearby Dells. But as I said, I'm considering not actually recapturing Dells. Let's just let the enemy build it over a little bit more and then take it over. And this time, oh come on, it was supposed to be a demonstration, guys. Now they're going to definitely kill me, because the enemy now has a very big numbers advantage on me, and I can simply, there's simply no way I can hold this. But I think I can still prove that I can effectively and efficiently trade even in this kind of scenario. So I'll try to do just that. Alright, let's return to our city towns, because this is my city and it is within the Empire battleground. I mean, with this battleground, as you can see, I can deploy inside of it, and I'm not sure if this is implemented in yet or if it was removed or not removed, but you're supposed to gain defensive bonuses while inside the city. So gladly stay over here, let the enemy walk towards me, and just then try to murder as many of them as possible. Now, I do have the high ground advantage, but on the other side, the enemy can swarm around me quite crazily. However, there isn't really anywhere I can retreat to. That said, I could try to retreat my dust bishops over here and keep my stalwarts on this tower, but the enemy still will be able to attack me quite well. And besides, the problem is, if I give my dust bishops the order to walk over there, I can't give my stalwarts order to replace the area where dust bishops are, just because right now the tactical display is not exactly where it needs to be. It's something that will be fixed in the future. I will demonstrate to you what I mean right now, because as you can see, if I tell my guys to walk, over here, I cannot tell my guys to walk over here. I can tell them to go here, but I cannot tell them to go to the town that is already occupied by one of my units. So I need to hold this ground. I mean, I guess I could retreat back a little bit, but then the enemy will gain the high ground. I mean, we'll be able to go on to here, and then I'll lose the high ground advantage. So let's just still stay where I am and try to defend as much as possible. I should have already started moving backwards on the previous planning phase, so that I would be able to go in, to be in a perfect position for the future, but I didn't do so, so it's now a little bit late. Alright, as you can see, inside the city and on high ground, I can fight relatively well against those Necrodrones. Necrodrones are kinda in a choke point that they're creating themselves, and my dust bishops are going to be able to heal my stalwarts very efficiently, beginning now, after I have taken some damage. So dust bishops now going to attack the enemy, take some of their health, and heal my guys up back to full health. So now my stalwarts can finish off the enemy, hopefully heal up a little bit by killing those guys. Yes, they were in fact able to heal up, but now my dust bishops are in danger. So dust bishops are not the worst from a lay unit. They are surprisingly okay at that, but oops, I think I did exit the battle, didn't I? Yeah, I'm back. And apparently I also cheated because I can... Oh no, I didn't cheat. I'm not back in battle. Sorry, I was a little bit confused. Anyway, how things are going? Well, my people are still alive, but my dust bishops are getting a little bit overwhelmed, and I am indeed going to lose this battle, but I think I have sufficiently proven that this last auto battle was absolute and total BS, because I was clearly supposed to be able to win it with the help I can gain from my dust bishops, which didn't attack this turn for some reason. It was a little bit strange and surprising. But look at that, I didn't even lose this battle, it was a draw! A draw! Against 4 Necrodrones. Last time I lost significantly, very badly against 2. Does that make sense to you? No, it should not. I mean, maybe it does, but it shouldn't. So yeah. Anyway, let's retreat back to our city, finish off the production of the stalwart. Let's actually buy out a few more just to make sure that this city does not fall. Obviously, this is a lot of Necrodrones that are heading my way, and I do not want to have to face them just yet. I mean, I do want to face them, but I'm not ready to face them right now. Alright, let's go ahead and punish the Wild Walkers. The battle is heavily in my favor, so I can go ahead and auto-battle it quite easily. I have taken some damage, also on my hero, which is total BS as you might imagine, but it's not a big deal. In my manual battles, dust bishops will be able to heal all of my units very, very easily. So let's end this turn. And actually this videocast is fairly long already. I guess I spent a lot of time explaining various things, which is why this videocast is as long as it is. But I guess I can show you one more battle, because the enemy did have the balls to actually attack my city. So let's create a new army, and let's go ahead and fight those bastards that decided to attack me. Apparently they still have the advantage. Yeah, right. Sure you do. Either way, let's go ahead, and now I can actually properly deploy when I'm in siege. That's nice. Anyway, let's kill the enemy, if that's possible. Yeah, there we go. Let's deploy my forces, kill the enemy, and end our videocast in style. Let's retreat back to our city areas, hold my ground over here, and as such I will be able to heal all my units very, very easily and efficiently with my dust bishop, and my dust bishop should still be very safe from the enemy attacks. Sure, Necrodrones can swing back around and attack my dust bishops from the side, but even if they do, they'll have to walk next to my stalwarts, which can now easily attack the Necrodrones, and those Necrodrones will probably not be able to survive for the next day. Yeah, though I have to admit, my Star Wars have taken a significant amount of damage for no good reason. That doesn't really matter all that much, I have to be entirely honest, because the enemy is surely going to die quite quickly because that's bishops. I so love this unit. I think you can tell by now, but this is really a really good unit to have. It's just so useful in your army. It is one of the main reasons why I love the Broken Lord so badly. In fact, in the early days of Endless Legend, before it was publicly available, I'm pretty sure I was the only guy saying that they are good. Everybody was like, oh gee, Wild Walkers are bad. But I was like, guys, you should actually try Broken Lords, they are sickeningly good. And that is indeed the case. I mean, as I'm pretty sure you can tell right now, I'm not really in a threat. Sure, I have lost a city, sure the enemy armies are swarming all around me, but I can just create those little fighting forces of like 3 units each, and I can find out much more theoretically powerful armies with ease and still have units at relatively high health, even after fighting the enemy. Sure, I lost a unit there, but 3 Necrodrons, those things cost a lot, and they are very good. So, well, all things considered, it's going great. And right now it's going to just keep getting better and better. And think as well that I could have actually attacked and taken over the enemy city and have it another city by now. All those things could have happened and this would be a stomp, and it actually kinda already is. So Broken Lords can be very powerful and steamroll the enemy very easily if you let them develop. And right now this is exactly what is happening. Even though I only have 3 cities, 5, 5 and 4 population each, it just feels like I'm being powerful. And that's because of how powerful the Broken Lords are. Either way, thank you very much for watching, please leave your likes and comments below, and I'll see you online!